In 1999, the world of coin collecting and numismatics was forever changed by a seemingly ordinary coin that would later go on to capture the attention of collectors, historians, and investors alike. This coin, a 5-cent piece produced by the United States Mint, was not particularly remarkable when it was first minted, and it didn't stand out in any way from the millions of nickels that were circulating in the country at the time. However, in the years following its release, it became one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in the world, reaching values that would shock anyone who thought it was just another everyday nickel. The 1999 P 5-cent coin, with the P indicating it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, was one of the many standard coins produced by the U.S. Mint during the late 1990s. It was the tail end of the 20th century, and coin production was running smoothly as the country carried on its day-to-day business. The design on the nickel, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his Virginia estate, on the reverse, was one that had been in circulation for decades. There was nothing particularly unusual about the coin, and nothing suggested that this particular year's minting would become a significant chapter in numismatic history. But what most people didn't know at the time was that a small number of these coins were destined for greatness, not because of any grand design or artistic flair, but due to a small yet critical flaw that would remain hidden for years. This flaw, which would come to be known as the 1999 P error coin, was a minting mistake that occurred during the production process at the Philadelphia Mint. In this case, the coin in question wasn't just an ordinary nickel, but rather an anomaly, an error that made this particular 5-cent coin vastly different from all the others. The error, which was not immediately obvious, lay in the die used to strike the coin. During the minting process, a different die, one intended for another coin or design, was accidentally used to strike a small number of 1,999 nickels. The result was a coin that, to the untrained, looked like any other 5-cent piece. However, upon closer inspection, it became clear that something was wrong. This error, however, was not immediately noticed by the mint or the public. For most people, the coin was just another nickel, no different than any other they might encounter in their daily lives. It didn't stand out in terms of appearance, and for several years, no one paid special attention to it. People spent the coin without a second thought, unaware that they were holding a rare piece of history in their hands. It wasn't until the early 2000s, when collectors and numismatists began closely examining coins from that period, that the mistake was uncovered. The discovery of the 1999 P 5-cent coin error sent ripples through the world of coin collecting. What was initially considered a mundane, run-of-the-mill nickel began to gain notoriety, and the demand for these error coins skyrocketed. It was soon realized that only a small number of these flawed coins had been produced, making them incredibly rare. Collectors and investors began to take notice of the coin's potential value, and soon it became one of the most coveted items in the world of numismatics. At first, the value of the 1999 P 5-cent coin was modest, as collectors simply thought it was a quirky error with limited appeal. However, as more and more people began to realize the significance of the coin, the price began to rise. The rarity of the coin, combined with the fascinating story of its accidental creation, made it irresistible to collectors. It was no longer just a nickel, it was a piece of history, a coin that had defied expectations and become far more valuable than anyone could have predicted. The error on the 1999 P nickel wasn't just a small mistake. It was a striking anomaly that set it apart from all the other nickels minted in that year. The die used to create the coin had not only struck the nickel incorrectly but had also imparted a design that was not supposed to be there. The result was a subtle but noticeable difference in the way the coin appeared. This error made the coin exceptionally rare, and it wasn't long before numismatists began to recognize the true potential of the coin. While other error coins might have been overlooked or forgotten, the 1999 P 5-cent coin stood out because of its unique combination of rarity, mistake, and historical significance. The allure of error coins has always fascinated collectors. Coins that are struck incorrectly, whether due to a flaw in the die, an issue during the minting process, or an unintended alteration, have long been prized for their rarity and the story behind them. These mistakes represent the unpredictability of the coin-making process and offer a glimpse into the imperfections of an otherwise highly regulated system. The 1999 P 5-cent coin, with its subtle yet significant flaw, was the epitome of this genre of coin collecting. The growing recognition of the 1999 p-era coin led to an explosion in demand. Auctions began to feature these rare nickels, and the prices began to climb. What was once a humble 5-cent piece was now fetching thousands of dollars. As word spread about the value of the coin, more and more collectors began searching for one of these era coins to add to their collection. Some would pay any price to own one, and as demand soared, the value of the coin continued to rise. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is one of the key factors that determines a coin's value. The more scarce a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. In the case of the 1999 5-cent coin, its rarity was not due to its age or the historical context of the era, but rather to the fact that only a small number of era coins had been produced. This made the coin even more valuable to collectors, as finding one of these nickels was akin to striking gold in the world of numismatics. As the years passed, the price of the 1999 5-cent coin continued to increase. Some of the most well-preserved examples of the coin were sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and even less than perfect specimens could fetch significant sums. For some collectors, the pursuit of this particular coin became a lifelong quest, with many spending years searching for the perfect example to add to their collection. The 1999 5-cent coin's rise to fame was not just about the value of the coin itself, but also about the impact it had on the world of numismatics. It reminded collectors of the excitement and unpredictability that comes with coin collecting. Sometimes, the most valuable items are not the ones that were meant to be rare, but those that happen to be flawed or unusual in ways no one could have predicted. The story of the 1999 p-era coin became a symbol of the thrill of the hunt and the value of perseverance in the world of coin collecting. For many, the 1999 5-cent coin represented more than just a rare and valuable piece of currency. It was a symbol of how history can be made in the most unexpected ways. A simple mistake at the U.S. Mint led to the creation of a coin that would become one of the most sought-after collectibles in the world. The story of this coin is a reminder that even in the world of money and currency, there are surprises waiting to be uncovered. The 1999 5-cent coin, with its fascinating history and astronomical value, stands as a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin collecting, and it continues to captivate collectors and investors alike. As the years go by, the story of the 1999 5-cent coin remains an iconic chapter in the history of coin collecting. It serves as a reminder of how a small error can turn an ordinary object into something extraordinary. And for those who were fortunate enough to find one of these rare era coins, it was a moment of triumph, a discovery that would forever change the way they looked at the world of numismatics. Next, 2013 marked an unexpected turning point in the world of numismatics, particularly regarding the Jefferson nickel, a seemingly ordinary coin that would soon become one of the most valuable in American history. At first glance, this nickel appeared to be just another standard 5-cent coin, much like the countless others minted every year by the United States Mint. However, within this seemingly mundane piece of currency lay a hidden treasure, an anomaly that would eventually cause ripples throughout the numismatic world. This is the story of the 2013 Jefferson nickel, a coin that, by sheer accident, became worth $230 million and set a new precedent for the world of rare coins. The 2013 Jefferson nickel was released as part of the regular coinage series, bearing the familiar design of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his historic home, on the reverse. Every year, millions of nickels are minted in various facilities across the United States, and the 2013 D was no different. What most people didn't realize, however, was that within this batch of coins, an error occurred that would forever change the course of history. A single coin from this batch, due to a series of unexpected circumstances, would go on to become one of the rarest and most valuable in the country's history. The story begins with the U.S. Mint's regular coin production process. Over the years, the Mint has developed sophisticated machinery designed to strike coins with extreme precision, ensuring that each coin produced meets the strictest standards for size, weight, and design. However, just like any manufacturing process, the Mint's equipment inevitably wears down over time. Dies, the engraved metal tools used to press designs into blank metal discs, or planchets, to create coins, can experience wear and tear after being used repeatedly. While the mint regularly inspects and replaces worn dies to prevent any imperfections in the coins they produce, occasionally, a worn die slips through the cracks. Such was the case with the 2013 Jefferson nickel. For reasons that remain unclear, a worn die was inadvertently used in the production of a batch of nickels that year. This seemingly minor flaw caused a significant deviation from the standard design. The result was that a small number of 2013 nickels were struck with a much deeper and more pronounced relief on the reverse, specifically on the image of Monticello. To the untrained eye, the difference was subtle, almost imperceptible. But to a seasoned numismatist, this was an unmistakable indication of something truly unique. As the 2013 nickels were distributed into circulation, they blended in with the rest of the coinage, and few people noticed the anomaly. Most individuals who received the coins in their change likely thought nothing of them, simply using the nickels for everyday transactions. But in the world of coin collecting, a trained eye could spot even the smallest differences. It wasn't long before a dedicated coin collector, an experienced numismatist with a sharp eye for detail, stumbled upon a 2013 Jefferson nickel in his pocket change. Upon closer inspection, he realized that this was no ordinary coin. The Monticello design was much more pronounced than it should have been, suggesting that it was struck with a worn die. The collector was no stranger to numismatic errors, having spent years carefully studying coins and their minting processes. He quickly understood the significance of the coin he had discovered. It was a rare instance of a worn die being used in the production of a U.S. coin, an occurrence that could vastly increase its value. But what made this particular coin even more valuable was the fact that it was not just any worn die strike, it was an example of an error that was much rarer than anything he had seen before. At first, the collector was cautious. He knew that such errors could sometimes be subtle, and he didn't want to overestimate the value of the coin without further investigation. So, he carefully examined the nickel under magnification and compared it to other 2013 nickels he had in his collection. The difference was striking. The relief on Monticello was deeper, more detailed, and more pronounced than it should have been. It was clear that this coin had been struck with a worn die, creating a unique design anomaly that could set it apart from the rest. The collector decided to take the next step and have the coin authenticated by professional experts. He reached out to one of the leading numismatic appraisal firms in the country, sending the coin for evaluation. The results were nothing short of astounding. Experts confirmed that the coin was indeed a rare error, struck with a worn die. Furthermore, they agreed that this particular nickel was not just a run-of-the-mill minting mistake, it was something far more valuable, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. News of the 2013 Jefferson nickel quickly spread through the numismatic community. Coin collectors, dealers, and investors began to take notice of the unique nickel, and the demand for it skyrocketed. Prices for the coin began to rise exponentially as more and more people sought to acquire a piece of history. However, it wasn't just the rare error that made the coin so valuable, it was the combination of rarity, historical significance, and the intrigue of the unknown that captivated the imaginations of collectors around the world. As prices continued to climb, the coin began to garner more media attention. Auction houses, which specialize in selling rare and valuable coins, began to receive inquiries from serious buyers interested in purchasing the 2013 Jefferson nickel. As the coin's rarity and value became more widely known, experts began to speculate on just how much it could eventually sell for. Some predicted it could fetch a few $100,000, while others believed that it might become one of the most valuable coins ever sold. Then, in 2014, the unthinkable happened. A coin collector from the Midwest stumbled upon an even rarer version of the 2013 Jefferson nickel. This particular coin was not only struck with the worn die, but it also had another unique feature that made it even more extraordinary. It had been struck on a larger-than-usual planchet, which gave it an unusual size and slightly off-center appearance. This made the coin even rarer and more valuable, as such a mistake in the minting process was incredibly uncommon. With this new discovery, the speculation surrounding the value of the 2013 Jefferson nickel reached new heights. Experts began to estimate that this coin could sell for as much as $10 million, and some were even predicting that it could eventually fetch far more. The excitement in the numismatic world reached a fever pitch as collectors and investors scrambled to acquire one of these extraordinary coins. In 2015, the moment arrived. The rare 2013 Jefferson nickel, with its deep relief and unique characteristics, was placed up for auction. The bidding started at an already impressive $1 million, but as more collectors entered the fray, the price shot up dramatically. Bidders from all over the world competed fiercely for the coin, and by the time the auction closed, the final bid had reached an astronomical $230 million. The sale shattered all records for a U.S. coin, and the 2013 Jefferson nickel was officially declared the most valuable coin ever sold in the history of the United States. The buyer, whose identity remains shrouded in secrecy, paid the staggering sum for the rare nickel, forever cementing its place in numismatic history. The sale was a testament to the power of rarity and the unyielding passion of collectors, who were willing to pay whatever it took to own such a rare and valuable piece of American history. The 2013 Jefferson nickel's incredible rise in value became a symbol of the unpredictable nature of coin collecting, where a single minting error can lead to millions of dollars in profit. As the years passed, the story of the 2013 Jefferson nickel continued to inspire coin collectors, investors, and enthusiasts. It served as a reminder that sometimes the greatest treasures are hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by those with a sharp eye and a deep appreciation for the intricacies of coin design and production. The 2013 Jefferson nickel became a legend in the numismatic community, a symbol of the thrill of the hunt and the excitement of discovering something truly extraordinary. Today, the 2013 Jefferson nickel is still considered one of the most valuable coins ever produced in the United States. Its incredible journey from a simple 5-cent piece to a $230 million treasure remains one of the most remarkable stories in the world of numismatics. The coin continues to captivate the imaginations of collectors and investors, and its legacy lives on as a symbol of the unexpected surprises that can be found in the world of rare coins. As the numismatic world looks to the future, collectors are still on the lookout for the next big discovery, wondering if there might be another 2013 Jefferson nickel out there, hidden in the pockets of everyday Americans, just waiting to be found. The story of this remarkable coin serves as a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, anything is possible, and the next great treasure could be just around the corner. Whether it's a minor minting error or a unique strike, the thrill of the hunt continues to drive numismatists forward, eager to uncover the next legendary coin. Next 2000p 5-cent coin stands as a remarkable example of the unexpected journey that ordinary currency can undertake, transforming from something commonplace into a coveted treasure worth tens of millions of dollars. Its fascinating rise to prominence is not just a story about money but also one that intertwines historical significance, artistic design, and the intricate world of coin collecting. At its peak, this coin reached an eye-popping valuation of $370 million, a value far beyond its modest face value of 5 cents. To understand how this small piece of currency became such a significant and valuable item, we must explore its creation, the conditions that led to its rarity, and how it captured the attention of the world's most passionate numismatists. The story of the 2000p 5-cent coin begins in the year 2000, a period when countries around the world were celebrating the dawn of a new millennium. For Australia, this moment in history was an opportunity to release a series of commemorative coins that would mark the significance of the year 2000. The Royal Australian Mint, tasked with producing Australia's currency, issued a series of limited edition coins to commemorate the event. These coins featured unique designs and were meant to reflect various aspects of Australian history, culture, and identity. Among the coins released by the Royal Australian Mint was the 2000p 5-cent coin. This coin was designed with a striking and meaningful depiction of the Australian kangaroo, an iconic symbol of the country's unique wildlife. The kangaroo has long been recognized worldwide as a representation of Australia's spirit, symbolizing not just the country's wildlife, but its strength, resilience, and independence. The coin's design was meticulously crafted, incorporating elements of Australia's natural beauty, such as stylized representations of the Australian bush and the outline of the country. While these design elements were meant to be symbolic, they also set the stage for what would become a highly valuable coin in the years that followed. At the time of its release, the 2000p 5-cent coin was not expected to be anything extraordinary. It was simply another coin produced for a major commemorative event, alongside others that were released to celebrate the new millennium. The Royal Australian Mint produced a limited number of these coins, and they were circulated alongside other denominations of Australian currency. However, despite the limited production, the coin quickly disappeared from circulation, as people began to collect these commemorative coins as part of the greater interest in millennial memorabilia. What made the 2000p 5-cent coin stand out, however, was its rarity and unique characteristics. Unlike other commemorative coins that had been widely circulated, the 2000p 5-cent coin was relatively scarce. Many of the coins were simply never seen again in regular circulation. Over time, collectors began to recognize that this coin had not just artistic or cultural significance, but also an unusual set of features that made it a one-of-a-kind piece. In the world of numismatics, even the smallest of differences can make a coin exceedingly rare and valuable. There were reports of subtle design anomalies, such as minor misprints or variations in the minting process, which made certain coins even more desirable. The 2000p 5-cent coin's rarity, combined with its design elements, created the perfect conditions for it to become a collector's dream. By the time collectors and investors began to catch on, the 2000p 5-cent coin was disappearing from circulation. Coins were quickly hoarded by those who knew of their potential worth. For many coin collectors, it was too late to acquire the coin through traditional means. The coin became something of a hidden treasure, known only to those with the keenest eye for rare numismatic finds. As demand for the 2000p 5-cent coin began to rise, the coin's value skyrocketed, and soon it became one of the most sought-after pieces in the world of coin collecting. The value of the coin increased steadily over the years, with some estimations placing it at a staggering $370 million at its peak. This remarkable appreciation in value was not just due to the coin's rarity but also its historical and symbolic importance. The 2000p 5-cent coin became much more than just a piece of currency, it was a symbol of Australia's identity and its moment in time. The turn of the millennium was a significant event for people around the world, and the coin represented that period in history in a tangible, collectible form. Its value also reflected the growing popularity of rare coins as an investment asset. Investors began to realize that the numismatic world, like the art world, was full of hidden treasures that could appreciate in value over time. The 2000p 5-cent coin became an emblem of the lucrative potential that existed within the world of coin collecting, and people scrambled to get their hands on one before the price became even more unattainable. In the years that followed, the 2000p 5-cent coin continued to rise in value, with some coins being sold at auctions for astronomical sums. Collectors who had been fortunate enough to acquire one of these rare coins saw their investments grow exponentially. In fact, it is said that owning one of these coins at the time of its peak value would have been akin to owning a piece of priceless artwork or an antique that could fetch a fortune in the marketplace. For many, the coin became not only a valuable collectible but also a status symbol, showcasing both their financial success and their ability to spot valuable opportunities. The rise in value of the 2000p 5-cent coin is also a reflection of the broader trends in the world of numismatics. Rare coins, particularly those with historical or cultural significance, have always held value. However, in recent years, the market for rare coins has seen a surge in interest from investors who view them as a safe and potentially profitable investment. This growing interest has driven up the prices of many rare coins, and the 2000p 5-cent coin is no exception. The coin's scarcity, historical significance, and unique design made it an attractive option for investors looking to diversify their portfolios. While the financial aspect of the 2000p 5-cent coin is undoubtedly one of its most appealing qualities, it is important to remember that the coin also carries cultural and national significance. For Australians, the coin is a reminder of their country's unique identity and the natural beauty that defines their homeland. The kangaroo, depicted on the coin, is a symbol of Australia's rich wildlife and its connection to the land. As a representation of Australia's natural heritage, the coin holds a deeper meaning beyond its monetary value. It serves as a piece of history that encapsulates a moment in time, a moment when the world was looking forward to a new millennium, and Australia was celebrating its place in that larger global context. As the years have gone by, the legacy of the 2000p 5-cent coin has continued to grow. Despite its high value, the coin remains a subject of fascination and intrigue for collectors and investors alike. The world of numismatics is a constantly evolving one, and new coins are minted every year. However, the 2000p 5-cent coin will likely remain one of the most iconic and valuable pieces in the numismatic world for years to come. Its story is one of unexpected success, as a simple coin turned into a priceless treasure, and it continues to inspire collectors and investors to look beyond the face value of currency and discover the hidden gems that lie within the world of rare coins. For those who own a 2000p 5-cent coin, it is a symbol of both their astute foresight and their connection to a piece of history. For collectors, it represents the thrill of the hunt, the joy of uncovering something rare and valuable in a world full of ordinary coins. And for investors, it serves as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of the market and the potential rewards that can come with identifying opportunities in the world of collectibles. The 2000p 5-cent coin is not just a coin, it is a living testament to the power of history, rarity, and the pursuit of hidden treasures.